Level up, level up. Okay, hello. We're so excited. It's happening. Welcome to Can I Just? I'm Burnsy,
And I'm Mattie.
and we're so happy that you're hanging out with us right now because we have so much to talk about. We haven't done like a phone call, video chat, anything, and I don't know how long.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, we do our video chats, but it's always like not live and in person. It's
Not
always
live.
like
Yeah.
a day after, and then we're like, girl, what the hell is happening in your life right now? And it's like, I don't know.
You send me like 200 Snapchats in a day, and it takes me 4 days to watch them, and then I go, wait, what's happening?
I'm just a yapper. I will never
We were
not be a
gifted with
yapper.
the yap.
I really was. Give me time to talk, and I will just talk.
Okay,
So
wait.
yeah.
The serious question that I have to start with, did you find your necklace?
I didn't. I'm so fucking sad. Well, cause so it's been breaking on me, and I knew I needed to change the chain, and I just haven't. And I was so hoping that it had come off when I took my hoodie off at UNM, but it didn't. But here's the thing, cause then
Wait,
I
did you
went.
check inside the hoodie?
I did. I flipped it inside and out and everything, and I checked all around the theater and in the office area. What did you just do? What just happened?
I got floored about something because I remembered when I lost my sword, I had my dagger earring, and I looked everywhere. I looked on the ground, I looked in my car, I looked at work, I looked at all over the home, and then I got undressed, and it was in my bra the entire time.
I went to the little fashion thing at the social club, and it was fun. It was cute. I got a pair of pants. I'm so excited to fucking wear those
Love
pants.
the pants.
I'm so excited.
The color block is great.
But I swear I remember there's photos from me at the place and stuff like that, and I don't have the necklace on while I'm there, which means I had to have lost it between UNM and there. So it's either in my car or it just fell off on the street. I'm really hoping it's in my car, and my car is a fucking disaster zone at the moment because I have 2 different shows worth of paint just scattered in my car.
Same. The amount of stuff that you have to keep in your car for our type of job.
So I literally have a go kit. I have paint clothes in the back of my car, and then brushes and rollers and tarps and shit. I usually don't have straight up paint cans in my car, but I do at the moment because I had 2 shows back to back, and I just haven't taken the paint out.
Put them in your garage or something? What do you do with the paint when you're done with the show?
I'm probably gonna put them in the garage because typically what's supposed to happen is I buy the paint and then I get reimbursed for it, and so the people who I buy the paint are supposed to take it, but these past 2 shows they just didn't take the paint. And so now I have it, which is kind of just free fucking paint at this point, which paint be expensive. And so I'm going to hold on to it. It's probably honestly going to go in my garage. But yeah, so I'm really hoping that my necklace is in my car. I will go searching for it probably later this week when I clean out my car. And if not, I did find the link to the place where I got the original pendant. So I'll get another one if I can't, but it won't be the same. I've had that necklace for so long.
Yeah. I was literally about to say, when you were talking about how it's free paint, I was like, that's just girl math. That's just scenic artist girly pop math. Because
Exactly.
you paid for the paint, but they didn't reimburse you, but it's still free paint.
Exactly. It's free paint. And they did reimburse me. At least the one people did. The other people have not yet. But I bought them 2 gallons of paint, so that one wasn't as
that's
bad.
not bad. That's not bad. But literally, it was so crazy because I just had gotten my sword necklace, and then you lost yours.
I know. Wild. Also, because I just got the confirmation on my back tattoo for the sword.
Yeah, that too.
Ugh. The universe was too many swords, Mattie. And I'm but it's my thing.
You had to lose one to get the other. Is
Exactly.
Was that
Maybe?
the vibe?
Maybe. Either which
know.
way, if I can't find it, I'm buying the pendant again. It'll just be a different pendant and look probably a little slightly different because they hand make them.
That's really cool. I like that a lot. I have no idea if this one is handmade or not. It has little dents and stuff in it like it is, but I don't think it is. I got it from a farmer's market, so it's a 50-50 shot.
Well, because it's long, so it kept snagging on shit, and it was just a basic bitch chain from Michael's, and so yeah, it just kept breaking. I'm gonna get a legit chain next time though.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Good.
Okay.
As you need to.
I cut you off. I'm so sorry.
Well, I was just saying that this had an archangel, I want to say Michael, pendant attached with it as well, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you want that?" And I was like, "Actually, no. Can I just have the sword?"
No, that's
and he was
fair.
like, "What?"
You're yeah, no, the religion, no, I'm literally, okay, so I'm wearing this because I got this in New Orleans, and it's not a saint, it's literally Marie Laveau.
I don't know anything about this.
Marie Laveau.
I'm sorry.
historically speaking, she's like a very well-known like witch practitioner, like hoodoo woman from New Orleans and stuff like that. Like very famous. And
Ugly
so like
pyramid.
I've started wearing it because I was just like, fuck it, I need something in my life to go wild, and maybe this will help me somehow. And I was like, I swear some people, because like same thing with my sword necklace. There's a lot of people who look at the sword necklace and think it's a cross. I'm so certain because of the shape of this, people think I'm like religious, and I'm like, no, 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 no. Not in the way you think. No, 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 no.
I kept seeing this out of the corner of my eye while I was working, and I was like, why am I wearing a cross right now? What's up with this crucifix? And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's my sword. Never mind.
Exactly. It does. They look like fucking crosses from like the corner of people's eyes. And I'm like, but it's not. Wrong vibes. Sorry.
Something just fell when that happened. I have these bags. These are other things that I got from the farmer's market. Did I already show this to you?
I don't actually think you showed me your haul, my guy. You showed me the
Oh.
necklace.
Okay, I got a set of earrings. They're very like, they're giving 1930s Art Nouveau vibes. They're like brass
Fuck
with
with
some
it.
sort of green glass inside. Go in the bag. And then this I got for, I don't, do you know who Cindy is? I feel like I've told you about Cindy. She's
I
like
believe
one of my
you probably
mom's
said.
best friends,
Yes,
and she used to be my therapist, and then I
yes,
changed
yes,
therapists
yes, I remember
because it
this.
got too real. She's like obsessed with big cats. So,
Is
and
it
he
like a
has like,
brooch?
it's a
Or is it
brooch, but it
just a
can also be a
okay.
pendant. It has a hole for a pendant and it can be a brooch. So I
Nice.
thought she likes like weird chunky jewelry and it's like got little, I don't know, my brain is blinking on what these are called.
It's
What is
okay.
it called when they do this? What is that called?
Like movable? I don't know. I know what you're trying to say, I just don't know.
Joints. I don't know. It has a bunch of joints, so it's like movable. I thought it was really cool and interesting. It's her favorite color. So I start Christmas shopping the second Christmas ends.
That's fair. I bought my mother a Mother's Day gift, and it's literally scheduled for my birthday, and everybody keeps looking at me and they're just like, hey Maddie, what do you want for your fucking birthday? And I'm like, my guy, I don't know, a fucking vacation.
Yes. That part. Also, I have such a qualm about this Mother's Day, and not because of like, you know how I feel about my mom. I love my mom. I love my mom so much, it's like detrimental to me. I got her for Christmas a $200 Chanel perfume.
Exactly.
I did Christmas this year. I got her a $200 Chanel perfume. And then, like, not even a month after Christmas, it might have been like a month and a half after Christmas, she calls me up and was like, so for Mother's Day slash my birthday, I want these really expensive running shoes.
Love that for you.
And I was like, I just got you $200 Chanel perfume. What do you mean? You want me to get you $200 running shoes now? Do you think
Exactly.
I'm not made of money? What
No,
is
I
happening?
honestly don't remember what I got my mom for her birthday. Like, I remember it was something she had asked for very specifically. I don't remember though, because it
Was it
wasn't even
not
that
that
long
makeup
ago.
the makeup
Huh?
bag? No, that was Christmas. You got her a
That was
makeup
Christmas.
bag.
The Christmas one was wild. I was like, what do you mean you just want a makeup bag? No, it was something else for her birthday, but I can't fucking remember what it was. No, for Mother's Day, my mother, like, offhandedly, I would say for the past year, just keeps bringing up, like, casually how cool she finds glass blowing and how she's always wanted to try it. And so I found a place downtown that teaches it for like 3 hours and you get to go home with whatever you make. And I'm taking her glass blowing on my birthday. But yes, glass blowing.
That's really slay. I actually really like that a lot.
Huh? You bugged out for a second, or I bugged out.
So that's really slay. I like that a lot.
Okay.
I love an experience gift. You know, like the material gifts are fun too, but like an experience gift is
Fun, because you get to do that with that person. It's not just like something they can covet. It's like a memory you make.
exactly. One of
Yes.
my favorite, I think one of my mom's favorite Mother's Days was I forced my dad to pay for everything because I was a baby and like couldn't afford anything at the time. But we took her to brunch. It was just me, my dad, and my mom. We took her to brunch and then just my mom and I went and did painting with a twist, which is like the wine sip and you like
Yeah.
paint
I've still
stuff.
never done that. For being a painter, I have never done the wine and paint thing, and I feel like I should.
I haven't done it since becoming a painter.
My guy, we gotta do it. We would
I
blow them
guess
all away.
we'll just go do glass blowing and go paint with a twist or whatever when I move down over there.
Exactly. Yes. There's like literally okay, because again, I make code names for things we'll probably end up talking about at times because like I can't let people I work with know I'm talking about them.
Understood.
But
Valid.
from the one place that I've been dealing with that takes up a lot of my time, I'm calling it Black. Place Black.
Okay, interesting code name. Okay, got it.
People are fruits and vegetables, and then places are going to be colors because that's how I'm keeping it straight in my mind.
Really thought you were just gonna come up with like new names for people and places, not actual like a code.
I will
Code.
not keep that straight. That is the problem. I can keep like concepts straight. If I start renaming people, we're fucked. I'm gone. It's done.
When always told our first summer in Ohio, whenever I retell that story about all of the crazy stuff that happened towards the end of the summer, I shorten everyone's names down to like a letter or something, or I'll change it to something super similar.
That's fair. Okay, see, but my thing is like there's certain stories that are going to be so specific that I'm like, if I keep it anywhere near this person's real name and somehow they come across this, I'm
Someone's gonna
screwed.
know. Yeah.
Like someone's gonna know and they're gonna be like, Mattie, what the fuck? And I'm gonna be like, oopsies. But yeah, no, there's a sippin' like wine paint place, like literally a 3-minute walk down from like Place Black that I work. And I pass it like half the time that I'm going to work. And I'm just like, I've never gone in and I've never done it, but I could. You look puzzled.
I was gonna try and guess what your code was, but I'm not going to. Never mind. I'll figure it out later. I'll figure it out later.
Also, like, just Snapchat you it later. Yeah.
That's yes, good. Okay, great.
Period. Sorry for people listening. You don't get to know some of this shit, but Burnsy knows.
Black Pyramid. I can't. I can't.
Uh,
You and I are gonna go on more dates together.
probably.
We're gonna have more like friend dates than I'll have on like actual.
Yes. Oh my God. What I've been so desperate for since essentially high school is because one of my friends Rachel, who moved to California. Yeah, Rachel, me and her, like all throughout high school, like 80% of our hangouts just consisted of like one of us needed to go to the grocery store and we would just be like, fucking, you want to come with me? And then we would just shoot the shit while walking around doing our errands. And I want that back. Just
Yes,
like,
that's the
yeah,
vibe.
like planning cool hangouts and like going to events, great, love it. I don't always have the time for it. My schedule's bullshit. But like somebody
Right.
who's just like, hey, I just like have 20 minutes and need to run errands and I want company, sign me the fuck up, honestly.
Well, I also anticipate us working on a lot of the same things together, potentially, depending on like how crazy our schedules are. Because if I have to go back to gig work, oh my God, I might die. But if I'm doing it with you, it's fine.
Weren't you considering like finding slightly a different thing to do outside of just like painting?
Yes, I was considering doing like either a part-time or full-time job that's like remote and then doing just painting on the side, but I haven't decided yet. I don't know.
That's okay. You don't have to decide yet.
We'll
We
figure
are
it out. I've now experienced stability for the first time for the past like 2 years, and I don't know if I want to go back.
no, that's so valid. This will probably help you out for Place Black. As much as like I kind of don't like the concept of staying there for forever, the fact that I get benefits from them. Oh, that's so nice. That's so
Yeah,
fucking nice. But like,
yeah.
yeah,
I need
yeah.
to use my benefits. I need to go to the eye doctor.
Same. Oh my God. Oh my God. Actually, no, my dentist. So I haven't gone to the dentist since I got my tongue piercing, which is like over a year at this point, which I know I need to go back to
Was
the
it that
dentist.
long ago? Okay,
Yeah.
no, don't even talk to me because I haven't been to the dentist in like, I think I was like 19 or 20, maybe 21. It's been more than a year, and that's a
Okay.
problem.
But yeah, because I
No
got
shame.
this. Yeah, I got my tongue pierced like 2 days after my birthday last year, and my birthday's like
Yeah.
2-ish weeks away.
Yeah.
So like almost a full year. But my dentist changed like management, like they sold out to another dentist, so it's like new people or whatever. Oh my God, they've like consistently been sending me texts and emails and calling me, and now they're sending me letters in the mail and they're like, "Hey, like essentially they're like, "Hey Pookie, we noticed you haven't come in for your like appointment or rescheduled. Like, would you like to come in?" I also kind of honestly think it's because they've lost business since it's a new dentist and like a new management staff because like according to my mother, the secretaries are like they're rude just to you as instant as you walk in. And so my mother switched dentist as soon as the original guy like sold his practice.
I do appreciate my old dentist because, like, that's back in Gainesville, and I would have to, like, schedule trips to come home just to go to the dentist and the doctor and do all the things because, like, my mom's insurance is so wackadoodle.
Whack.
Like, Yeah, I have to go to where she works or else it's like completely out of pocket unless it's completely out of state and then it's covered like it's at her work or something. I know, but like I really appreciated that dentist because she was so nice and she really catered to people who have like fear of dentistry stuff, which that's me. That's me wholeheartedly.
I feel like we've had this conversation that I'm just a psycho when it comes to the dentist, because like,
I like cleanings. I like getting my teeth cleaned. I will fall asleep at a cleaning.
hey, yes, I will go in and like if it's just a classic like cleaning, like I don't know, it's like the lighting and the way the chair's set back, and if they're not stabbing the
They have
out of
fucking
me,
massage chairs at the dentist that
holy,
I used to go
what
to.
the?
So you could turn on the little massage thing and it would just like,
And then you're just like, you know what? Like this person's not like I'm safe. I'm just gonna like nap. Like, yeah,
I don't know what it is about someone being up in your mouth that makes you fall asleep.
it's just comforting.
I don't know. There's just something nice about like the water. The smell of the dentist sends me to the sun. I don't like it. There's something about the smell of the dentist that traumatizes me.
So I think, like, for context, this podcast is essentially just us shooting the shit, talking about our lives, and very specifically our mode of work, in which we've
Yeah.
kind of said it, but not really said it. We are both scenic painters for the theatrical world, and it is a crazy, wacky, fun, awful world sometimes. Yes.
I will say, like, our videos together and like the podcast when we do them together are very just like whatever we feel about like talking about because we are chaotic and we're gifted with the gift of gab. Like in our astrological charts, there's no way we won't be chaotic and gabby.
No, I'm saying, like, yeah, we're probably just gonna be shooting the shit, and it's always gonna be
Yeah.
the us going, can I adjust? And we usually say that before we low key talk a little bit of shade.
Yeah.
But like that's life. And half the time when we're talking shit, it's about our jobs. So I just feel like it's important to
Correct.
know that we do scenic painting if you needed
Yes.
that context.
That is important. I also wanted to note that all of my solo episodes have like more of a theme behind them that I want to talk about specific things. I just did one that was like my health crisis over the last 2 years.
Exactly. Yep.
So I did that one, and then the upcoming one I'm going to talk about like my wellness journey post crisis, and then the one after that I'm going to talk about like my wellness and health ins and outs for 2025. Even though we're already halfway through 2025, I don't care.
Who cares? You can always start whenever you need to. A health journey is whatever you need it to be.
Exactly, exactly. Because running is in. But for some reason, over the last like year or so, I got the running bug, and now I'm like, I'm a runner.
I will always be a weight training baby. I love being able to lift heavy and like do that.
Yeah.
I'm saying this knowing I can't lift as heavy as some people, so if somebody tries to come at me for that, fight me. But, like, literally, like, oh my god, the statue I made for the show,
So heavy.
Karen, she's
Yeah.
not that bad, actually. I think, like, she's less than, like, a brick, like a rail brick, so she's, like, less than 30 pounds, and I, like, had to carry her upstairs. Like, she's taller than me.
To our rail bricks, actually, though. Are they? I thought there was like a 15 one, and then there was like a 40 or 50 one, because there's different sizes.
I think the ones we have, so technically I think ours go up to 44 or something like that, because we have half bricks that are 22s, so
Interesting.
but, like, she's less than 40 pounds. She's not that heavy. Karen is like, I think she's like 5'9". She's taller than me, but she's not super heavy. And I had to carry her up and down the stairs because that's what the director asked for. It's fine. And so I was carrying her up to preset her. And then one of the guys was like, oh my God, like you can carry her. And I was like, I made her. Of course I can carry her. And he was like, I can't even pick her up. And I was like, she's not heavy. What the fuck do you mean?
Talk about what do you mean?
And then one of the girls in the cast was like, I love women in STEM. And I was like, thank you.
STEM. This is not STEM, baby.
I was a woman in STEM for like a second.
You know what? That's so true. You're so right. I also wanted like, can I, I look at my job as my weightlifting and like
Yes.
non exercise activity, if that makes sense. Like, because I have to lift so much heavy at work. A 5 gallon. People don't
Oh my God.
realize that 5 gallons when
Bitches are
they're full.
heavy.
Don't get me on an Elasto 5 gallon, okay? I swear they're 10 pounds heavier than a normal like 5 gallon of paint. Like, don't come for me. Don't talk to me about it. I don't want to hear about it. But like, I have to help Scenic move walls around and like pick up a bunch of paint all at once. So like, our job is so physically active, especially the
Exactly.
last like 2.5, 3 weeks. It's more like 3 weeks now. We were moving from the old production shop to the new production center. And I swear, my co-painter and I were doing the majority of the work with some people every once in a while coming in to help. And I was like, why are we moving props? Why isn't props moving props?
Because props never moves props. I say this now that I do props, but even like when we first met, props absolutely useless. Did not do their. We set up their shop for them.
Correct. Because it literally no one from props showed up till like
Literally.
after. It was just like the prop department head at the time that showed up, and it like he was just like, "Oh, can you like put that table together? I'll hold this leg if you screw it in."
Love and hate to see it.
Yeah, no, well, it's also really interesting because like Hunter, he works in props, but he's he's been on show call like for some of the season, and when they put him on show call, their department gets nothing done. I swear to God, he's the only prop person I've ever met that actually does any work.
Oh no, I get you. I feel that for real. Jesus Christ. For Place Black, I'm just props and paint. That's all I should have to do. And then every time I fucking come in, I have to micromanage my ATD and TD and tell them to get their shit done because they can't do. And these men are both at least 10 years older than me, and like I'm bossing them around because they just cannot get their shit together. And I'm like, why?
Wait, can I
Why?
get something really Can I just really fast? Is one of the people labeled Apple?
So I do have an apple. It's not who you think it is.
Okay, I thought it was gonna be like a correlation.
No.
I was gonna be like, Apple is 10 years older than you?
No. So I was like, we can't have like corresponding things because people will find out.
Okay.
Who I think you think is apple, I've labeled as pear.
Okay.
Well, because I was writing down names and then I was just like off the top of my head, I was like, what fruits are there? And then I just wrote them down as they came to my mind. And like, yeah. Because the TD, he's cantaloupe. Because I couldn't think of another fruit. I was like, what's a fruit?
He should be honeydew because no one likes
Okay.
honeydew.
He's getting better. Like, he has his moment.
Because, like, cantaloupe is not the first choice I would go for, but it is delicious every once in a while when you really are craving it. A melon.
Okay. Yeah, I think the only two.
Another person should be honeydew. Are we on the same page?
Okay, I think I know who you're talking about. Is it the person who we talked about in the council or someone else?
Correct.
That one is actually first top off my head named Apple because that was one of the first names I wrote down because I was like, this is going to be a person we talk about a lot. So first name down, first fruit out of my mind. I can rename them.
Sending a formal request to the council that we rename the label to honeydew.
Okay. I will rewrite it on my paper right now.
Good. I'm hyping you up a little bit, but in a weird way.
There we go. If people come across this, they're going to be so confused.
Yeah, it's fine. No one needs to know. Who cares?
Yeah. And you know what? If they do come across it, come at me. Say it to my face. I will tell you exactly what I'm saying right now to your face.
Anything I say on this podcast, I probably have and would say to these people's faces.
Oh, I would say so much of this to see people's faces, but like part of the like code names is one, so I don't get fired for certain things.
Yeah, true.
But two, also as much as like I have a bit of a disdain for some of the people on this list, I'm nice enough that I would also not like to get them fired, if that makes sense. So if they see a correlation, if they come across this and see the correlation and they want to confront me about it, I'm gonna be like, hey, I was saving your ass by not saying it. You really want to talk about this now? You know?
For real. Literally.
So, I just, as you called me out, I just have anxiety. Like really bad anxiety around certain things.
I did call you out the other night. I was gonna do it on the podcast and I was like, no, I have to warn you.
You can call me out. It's fine. I really do have such a problem with setting boundaries, and I'm so aware of it. I
think it's also like a deep-seated thing of we are women, you know, women identifying, and so we always feel like we have to say yes, or like we always have to overcompensate in some sort of way to prove that we're just as good. But also it's like a touch of autism with a touch of anxiety makes the perfect concoction for you to just like, honestly, I'm the same way, bad at setting boundaries. Bad at saying no.
Just like there's like that aspect of it of like just doing what we do so much of the time. I've like sat there and I'm like, oh, this is not my job. And then it's like, well, somebody has to do it. And then no one else steps up to do it. And they're kind of just like looking at you. And it does have to do with the fact that like one, younger and a woman. So at the end of the day, you're just the person people look to and they're like, well, like, it needs to get done. And you're like, I guess, fine, because no one else is gonna do it.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
That's the thing that I also really dislike about working in theater because it's supposed to be like such a collaborative type of art form and like doing productions, you get all different types of people and creative artists doing a bunch of different things all together all at once. But like some people just really drop the ball every time. And then it's always like people just look to my department and go, "You're gonna do that,
Literally,
right?" Or like my boss will be like, "We're doing that now." Like the amount of like having to stay in integrity all of the time, not just for our department, but picking up everyone
everyone
else's
else.
too. Like someone else can also pick up a box, okay?
Literally. Oh my God. Words.
Can I just say something really quick?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't want to like expose too much about like my interpersonal relationships and everything, but like you know that Hunter and I were like going through some stuff and I was like
Yeah.
um yesterday was I got up to go to the bathroom in like the middle of the night, but I had used the toilet paper a different time in the middle of the night. I used all of it and then I forgot to restock it because I was like half asleep. So I
Yeah.
woke up in the middle of the night and I was cursing. I was like, why did I not remember to refill the toilet paper? I was like freaking out. And so I had to use a dude wipe, which like dude wipes are for butts, okay? I'm just gonna say I don't recommend. But I was, it's like one of those things where you're desperate, you're just looking for
Yeah.
something. And when I got up to go to the bathroom again in the morning, he had restocked the toilet paper and he did like a little like folded fan tucked into a
Oh,
pocket out of toilet
make it
paper and like
fancy.
made it fancy and cutesy. And I was like, I hope he didn't think that I was cursing him out for leaving because he didn't use all the toilet paper. It was my fault. But like he went out of his way to make it cutesy.
I love that. That's so cute.
Yeah. Yeah. Things are so good.
So happy for you. I'm glad things are good.
Thank
That's
you
all
so
you need in
much.
life.
I started just embracing my more like soft femme energy and was like, I am princess. I
You
am
are
baby.
princess.
I am princess. I'm not doing anything.
Valid. Valid. Oh my God. Me in the shop when people are like, hey, Mattie, you want to like help us build this thing? I'm like, I'm princess. I don't know what you're talking about. Not my job. Not doing it. No, thank you. Like, for the record, I know how to build. I know how to weld. But as soon as somebody asks me to, I'm like, I don't know.
Baby. They would be like, "Oh, can you help like lift this thing and carry it over there?" And I'm like, I can't let the carpenters know that I can lift heavy things. Then I won't be baby treated. What do you mean?
I think that's the only thing I won't do is like I refuse because a couple of the people I do work with in like multiple factions of different places do lean slightly misogynistic and kind of just assume I can't lift. I will always be like, no, I'm gonna pick up this heavy object in front of you and you're gonna off. But like when it comes to something I really don't want to do, I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm sorry.
I actually don't know anything about that. Literally,
Yeah,
I got
well,
asked just to build like a flower box or something. The last time I did carpentry was forever ago, but I still know how to use like a drill and a
yeah.
hammer. And I could do it. I know how to use a saw, but I was like, I'm just a baby. I don't know about that. And I was like, I don't know. And my boss was like, I'll do it. I'll
Nice.
do it for you. I was like, thank you.
I think genuinely the only section of something when somebody asks me in theater and they're like, oh, can you do this thing? If it's lighting or sound related, like I can use QLab, but if I need to like program on a board, don't have me touch a board. I don't know. I'm so bad. It will burn. It will like combust and it's not my problem at that point. You
I
could
love a
ask me to
board.
hang a light. I can do that.
I like hanging lights. Actually, I don't like hanging a bajillion lights. I like doing like a couple.
Mhm.
But also like when I was doing lighting for the high school, it would be like, "Oh, can you go do this thing with this light?" And I was like, "I actually don't know a lot about lighting anatomy. What are you asking me to do? You want me to turn the barrel on the inside? What?" Like that's crazy. That's cray cray dog. And then I like got used to it and whatever. Like now I don't mind doing it every once in a while. But if I have to like help hang an entire show, oh my god. Hey, come here. Yay! Oh, just relax for a second.
Just relax. Just do what I want. Hello. No, I haven't met this one yet. Like I've seen photos, but I haven't got to meet you in person.
Yeah. This one's Maple Muffin. She's so little. Look at. Oh, hey, Jack Jack. Look at her.
I
Okay,
struggle.
here you go. Have fun. I love them so much. It's like having two children. Four
I'm
cats
looking
is
forward.
equivalent to two children.
Okay. I mean, like,
Hi.
if you put them together, depending on the size of the cat, that is kind of like two toddler sizes.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
Like, Luna and Jack Jack together, they're like a 30-pound kid.
They're just a toddler.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if a
No.
kid weighs that much. I don't know how much
Well, like
kids
an
weigh.
infant is somewhere between like 8 to 12 pounds, which is like a
Yeah.
child.
When do kids get like 30 pounds? What age is that?
Have to be a toddler, right? A toddler to like 4-year-old? I was a
Yeah.
small child. I don't know.
No, that's so fair. I constantly get mistaked for being in like my later, like most people think I'm around 26 years old, and I sit there and I'm like, no. And then they're
Because you're
just like,
turning 24.
yeah, I'm turning 24. I'm currently only 23. And like it's not a huge age difference, but I feel like maturity wise, I feel like there is a difference in that. And every time somebody looks at me, I'm like, do I look that old? And they're like, no, you just feel that old. And I'm like, why? Because half the time
Old
when people
soul.
come to me, I'm like, I feel like I'm 18 and don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
We're the same age for like 2 weeks,
I know.
2 or 3 weeks. That's so
Because it's
fun.
my birthday. And then your birthday.
It's my birthday. No, sorry. LOL. It's your birthday, and then it's my mom's birthday, and then it's my dad's birthday, and then it's Hunter's birthday, and then it's my birthday.
Jesus Christ. All of us are Geminis.
Yeah.
My
It's
dad's
kind of
birthday
spooky.
also in that mix. My dad is a June baby. He's June 15th.
Okay, so then your dad is after me. But that,
Yeah,
that's 6 people.
that's so
That's so
much.
many.
To be
That's
fair,
so many.
also, like, the friend group I have, like, where the party people I tend to party with a lot, almost half of those people are also Geminis. I have, like, 3 different parties that I'm supposed to go to in this upcoming month to 2 months because they're all Geminis.
I'm gonna say something that's very generalized. Gemini men are scary.
See, okay, I would say yes, except for my dad is a Gemini man, and that is the most, he's not diagnosed, the most autistic, socially awkward man I've
No
ever met.
problem. My dad is like, but he doesn't want to believe that he is, so he tries really hard to just control everything and like is so mentally like up here because like air sign, and
Yeah.
it's just he's unpredictable.
See, my dad's not unpredictable. I can, like, he's, like, fairly, like, he's just a guy. Like, he's just a little guy.
I wonder if it also depends on like the other placements in their big three because like Hunter and I are both Gemini Sun, Virgo moons, but I'm a Sagittarius rising and he is a Pisces rising. So he comes off super cool, calm, and collected.
Okay. I don't know what the rest of my dad's big 3 are. I could figure it out. I know the day he was born. I don't actually know where he was born. Like, I know, like, the state he was born in. I'll get this information from my dad. I will put it into a generator. We will see. And then I think the only other Gemini man I know in person is, like, one of the guys, like, I go out, but he's, like, queer as f- and I love him, and he's such a time, but I don't find him scary.
I wonder if it's a certain type of like generational Gemini man that like gives scary vibes that are like that really lean into the whole two-faced thing. Yeah, I'm not gonna name names. I am spilling a little tea, and I would say this to their face, but I don't want to like ruin them online. How can I code this?
Call them
No,
call
I
them
think you know.
7-Eleven. I don't know. Call them
Okay,
like a random
7-Eleven in long-term very committed relationship but like was super close to cheating with a person who they met around the same time as their long-term partner and caused so much emotional distress but then like ended up getting married anyway to the long-term partner and then never told the long-term partner about any of it.
I feel like you have told me about this. It's ringing bells, but I don't fully know who we're talking about, and that's okay. It's easier to remember big events than people's names, if I'm being honest. Like, you tell me something
Okay,
scandalous,
okay.
I'm gonna remember the scandal more than the person's name. I forgot that that person's a Gemini! Holy I don't know. I don't remember. Certain people's birthdays are really hard to remember. I remember people's zodiac signs, weirdly enough. Like,
Yeah,
love of our life, Kaya, she's our little fire sign Leo baby, and I love her for that.
yes, correct.
Yeah.
I'm like decent at remembering both things. Yeah, I know.
To be
I know.
to be fair, there was a lot going on that summer.
Bitch, I almost died.
You almost died. I got wrecked, emotionally speaking.
Oh my god, yes. And then the summer before that, you like fell into a hole,
Yeah,
literally, physically, not metaphorically. The
I
second summer,
physically
you
fell in a
fell
hole.
into an emotional hole.
Okay, so like for the context of the falling into a hole, which I still have the photo that you took in the hotel after that of my legs, which has now started like a very I take photos of all the bruises I get via theater now, and I think it's kind of funny. I don't know
Be
why
that
I do it.
collage.
But so it was strike. It was strike. It was the end of the season. And I would like to say we were putting away some of the stock flats, which a stock flat, if you don't know, is like 4 feet by 8 feet, got a couple inches to it. It's a platform. And
They're
so,
made of like 2x4s and plywood, which, if you don't
yeah,
know, is heavy.
they're heavier. And so I was up on like the top of like all these other ones that are stacked, like industrial grade organizational shelves for these platforms. And me just assumed that these shelving units would be flush against the wall. That's what they would be. And so I'm walking backwards. We put the shelf down. I take another step backwards and down. Catch myself elbows. Otherwise, it would have been like a full 10-foot fucking fall to the ground, to a concrete floor.
You would have been stuck behind scenery.
Stuck behind scenery and probably very hurt. And so like I'm just on my elbows, I'm at chest level, like down in this hole, and everybody like looks at me and they're like, what just happened, Mattie? And I'm like, oh, I just fell. And they're like, okay. And then I step up out, and then everyone's face was like, because like it couldn't realize that I like fully fell.
Yeah, you were like down, down. I remember I was talking to Kate when this happened. She came by and was like saying bye to us for the summer. And I look over and you were like backing up, and then all of a sudden, like, and I was like, something happened.
Literally, well, because it was also like I was specifically looking at Mason. And Mason was like, "You're good. Are you good?" Because he like turned around when I fell, and then turned back, and he saw me on the floor, and he was like, "What's happening?" And then like I stood up, and he just went, and I was like, "Yeah, I was like fully in this hole. Like I have a pair of leggings still that I use as paint leggings, and it ripped a hole in my leggings, but at the knee, in the shape of a heart, which was like, oh,
Cute.
but like, yeah,
See, this is why we
wild.
love Ohio.
I want to go back
I
so
want to go back
badly.
too. So, so bad. My favorite time is when we would be like, oh, are we done painting? Are we on lunch? What are we doing? Like, we had free time for whatever reason, and we would just like pick a place to go.
I love it. I miss I really miss Curry Pot because I really loved them that last summer.
I really miss Spoon.
That's fair. I want kale chips, my guy. I miss Boo Bears. I miss whipped coffee. I miss basil. Like I
So, Boo
uh,
Bears, Roots. Oh my God,
oh my god. I want to go
all
back.
of them. I wonder if the whipped coffee place is still open because it was like new and niche.
I think they are. We could always look it up. I bet you it's still online.
And that stupid, cute little, like stupid in the good way, boba place that we would go to.
Yes. And then
I
we
still
both have
have
a
the
cup.
punch card.
I still have the cup that I bought. So,
I don't remember you buying a cup. I'm so
my god, I
sorry.
bought a boba cup. Also, speaking,
Wait, I don't remember.
hold up. Hold up. Okay, because my cat bell broke, and I was like, I went online and I bought a bunch of them. That they're nearly the same ones from the boba house, but they're not the same colors. But yeah, I bought a bunch because I was like, I need my bell. I need my cat.
Can I just hot take really quick? I don't like platform shoes that are not meant to be platforms. Do you know what I mean? They're out. Like, I hate seeing a platform Birkenstock. Like, why? Or a
Okay,
platform
no, I get you.
Croc. Or a platform Converse. Like, stop it. No, they're
See,
ugly.
but no, I get you.
Understood.
I especially like things like Birkenstocks, like the Crocs thing. I felt like was a bit when they first did it. I like totally thought that was just like a tee hee ha ha funny joke. But then like everyone else kind of started doing them, and I was like, what the low key? The Birkenstock ones make no sense to me. I don't understand them. The one I've always thought these were ugly. Like they make more sense is the Converse ones. Like I can kind of understand because like that's a cross section of sort of like the alt community, and like platforms are very alt,
They're
but
still
like they're
ugly.
just ugly. Like literally they're just ugly. I hate the platform
They're
Converse.
fugly.
Oh my god, speaking of Converse, I don't have them with me. They're downstairs. I need to buy new paint shoes. My paint shoes are wrecked right now.
I just bought new paint shoes
I
last
literally need new
weekend.
ones. The canvas is like completely ripped all the way around, and at least one of my shoes, like the rubber. So like there's the side rubber and there's the underneath rubber, and they're attached. Like the full front to halfway down my shoe, it's just not attached anymore, rubber wise. I need to go get new paint shoes.
Do you remember my first summer when we were painting together and I was wearing those stupid white low top Converse and
Yes,
they like split at the toe
yes, that's what's happening.
and I tried to staple them back together?
See, okay, the staples I wouldn't do just because the rubber I airplane like glued these earlier this year because it started to do that in a couple spots and it worked. and now it's not working anymore. So I just need new
Yikes.
shoes.
Yeah. That's the thing with like Converse. If I try and wear them, one, I don't wear Converse when I paint anymore because I'm on my feet literally all day for more than 40 hours a week because like I exercise in them too and stuff. I can't wear Converse anymore because like they destroy my feet and then my feet hurt and then my back hurts and my knees hurt and I'm like, what's happening? Am I dying? No, I'm just wearing the wrong shoes. Which they used to be my favorite shoes and they were so comfortable. And then I realized it was causing me a lot of other issues, but I miss wearing them. I'm not gonna lie. I love a little like Converse moment, but I started with getting the Brooks running shoes to wear as work shoes, and oh my god, life changing. They're worth the 150 $200. I'm gonna say it. They're
That's
worth
fair.
it.
I'm still a Converse girly. I probably will be, but I also think it's because like the shape of my foot has always just worked really well with Converse. And so like that's why I can do it. But like even my stage blacks, which I know these aren't fully black, don't come for me. Just the Converse.
I mean, you can just like tape over them, just
Yeah.
gaff tape
Plus
them.
half the time when I'm like actually backstage, I'm never like a like backstage like having to choose set changes. I'm usually like on rail or I'm stage managing, so I'm places where people can't see me or spot hopping. Like I'm always somewhere where no one can actually see me, and I'm like, how much does the black really matter right now?
Remember, we would just like get undressed spot hopping because it would get so hot.
Yes. I remember that because I also remember it was supposed to be like our first summer, the hottest day, and then I wore shorts and my roommate slut shamed me because I was wearing shorts. Do you not remember that?
No, oh my god.
Oh
I
my god.
honestly I forgot. I'm gonna call them asparagus. No, I'm gonna call them bok choy because you probably didn't pick bok choy. Did you pick
No.
bok choy?
No.
Okay, bok choy. I forgot that that person existed until you just said that.
Yeah, no, like that's one of the like memories that like vividly stands out in my mind. It was like the hottest day of the summer. It was when all of the AC was supposed to be turned off
Were you
in
wearing like
the building.
compression shorts?
I was wearing just like classic spandex, like running shorts,
Yeah,
essentially. They
okay,
were not
okay,
that
yeah.
short. And then like fully turned to me and was like, well, hopefully your supervisor will give you enough time to, you know, come back and put on more clothes before show starts. Like she fully slut shamed me for wearing shorts when it was like meant to be 90% humidity, like over 90 degrees, and there was meant to be no AC in the building that day. And I was like, what the is happening right now? Again, also, we were up on spot. Like you couldn't see
Yeah.
us.
Like I understand if we were actively backstage pushing stuff on and off the stage in like blackouts or something, that I would sacrifice and be like, I have to wear pants and long sleeves, whatever. But there was no time when we were gonna be seen spot hopping.
Literally.
And
Because like
Kaya told us not to wear clothes.
literally,
She was like, just
literally.
get naked.
Exactly, because like that spot rail specifically, like genuinely no one can see you besides
It's so
maybe
hot.
maybe like orchestra or the actors if they looked up. But if they looked up, they would just be blinded by lights anyways. No.
Exactly. And the lights made it extra hot up there too. Like I'm
Yeah.
sweating.
Well, because it was also we weren't using real spots. We were using converted source 4s. Like they're
No.
hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember that because I did
That
do
goes
like full
crazy.
blackout when I ran rail because like Ohio rail, you can see it. Like it's on the ground. Like you can see it from the wings. So I was in blacks because I was like, oh, like people can see me. But yeah, the spot rail made no sense.
Can I just complain really quick about something?
Yes.
Our first summer, we literally did everything together and were attached at the hip immediately. I mean, I talked about it in the last episode. I was like, actually, Mattie was really intimidating the first like 3 or 4 days. And then we like immediately became besties and we were attached at the hip the entire time. And we did everything. And I was like, as long as Mattie is on the same schedule I'm on, I'm okay. I'll survive. Like, I was so attached. And you were like, I don't care. And I was like, how dare you? The second summer, we did not spot up together ever.
I know.
I was like,
I'm
how?
so
Who
fucking
thought that
aware.
was a good idea?
It was because I'm pretty sure it was a Kaya decision because she was like, I need at least one of you in the shop at all times because we were just in the end.
Oh my God, I remember before you showed up the second summer, I was dying. And
Yeah.
like, that's not on you. You were doing literally something you wanted to do for years and it kept getting pushed because of so many different things. But I just,
Remember
I was
explicitly showing up in my paint clothes and Kaya looking like she was gonna cry as soon as she saw me walk in the first day. Cause she was like, have you moved in yet? And I was like, no. And she's like, but you're in clothes. And I was like, Yeah? I was like, "I'm here to paint, Kaya, like, I'm ready, like, what are
I
you
was like,
talking
"Do you
about?"
think I'm not gonna help her move immediately after work? Like, what do you mean?"
I was like, "I can wait, this is not a big problem," like, yeah.
Also, like, you don't usually bring as much stuff as,
No.
say, I do.
Well, cause like, you have, like, your cats and stuff like that, so you have more that you need. I just,
Oh
like
my
I pack
god.
clothes and then, like, I didn't pack as much cooking wear the second summer around because our first summer, we really didn't cook that much because of, like, the kitchen situation, and then it was technically worse the second summer, so it was like, "Fuck it, like, this doesn't matter."
The only thing that saved us was having those mini fridges and then the microwave in my room.
Literally. Oh my god, the mini fridges were such a godsend.
The mini fridges were kind of vibe, I'm not gonna lie. I remember going and getting, like, the 20 pack of Monster every week and stuffing my mini and I'd be like, "I have one for the week." Remember remember when bok choy and I were in the kitchen? I would wake up and make my stupid avocado toast every frickin' day, and
Yeah,
then I was like,
I do
avocados
remember
don't
that.
taste the same in Ohio. For anyone who doesn't know, like, I live in Florida, and I've been living in the south part of Florida for like 5 years now, something like that. Avocados taste good down here. Avocados in Ohio do not taste the same, and I got sick of
But
them
I
really
also
fast.
remember you essentially ordering a shrimp scampi at what can be described as a Wex in Ohio, and then getting food poisoning
Well,
because you're used to shrimp from the coast of Florida.
I literally, the Florida girlie forgot we were in Florida, and I was like, I can order shrimp, this is fine. And
It was
then
not.
after, you didn't stop me either. It was
I
after we
looked at you
ordered, and you
and
were
I was
like,
just like,
did you
"Okay."
mean to order shrimp? And I was like, what are you talking about? And you're like, we're in Ohio, landlocked Ohio. And I went, oh, no, I made a mistake. But it was too late for me to change my order. I
Yeah, no,
regretted
I, like,
it.
literally looked at you afterwards and I was like, "Okay, okay, okay, back to the kitchen though, with bok choy."
Bok Choy and I were in the kitchen. She would say some racist shit to me every once in a while. And I was like, oh, this is really uncomfortable. So I'd go, okay. And I'd just be making my little toast and doing my own little thing. And then one morning, she woke up and there were like, no, something wasn't available. I don't know if it was forks or what, because we had to supply our own cooking and dining utensils and plates and things. And she couldn't find a fork or something and got so
Yeah.
angry, she ripped the drawer out and threw it on the counter.
I
Do you
don't
remember this?
I remember you said, like, her slamming cabinets when you were in there cooking one night. I don't think you ever told me about her ripping the
It
drawer
was a
out.
morning. It was in the morning. She was like going around trying to find something and was like slamming cabinets. Like she would wake up with the most amount of cortisol a person paused. Like I don't know why, but she was so stressed out in the morning immediately and was just like mean and angry and bitter all day. And then would like get vent at you at the middle of the night when you're trying to sleep. It was like so weird. And I don't know. She woke up one morning and was pissed about something and started like slamming cabinets and like pulled out an entire drawer, broke the drawer, slammed it on the counter. Like she was
Yeah.
having a bad day. And I was like,
No.
whoa.
I like, she was a lot. Because do you remember when I slept in Savannah's room because she had come home and we were having the Father's Day thing and she was so pissed
Yeah.
about it that she went around slamming, like, doors and cabinets and, like, yelling at people, and we were outside, like, we weren't in the building, we weren't making a whole lot of noise, and she was just so mad that we were having this, like,
It
get
was
together.
it was the fact that Father's Day that year landed on Juneteenth.
Yeah.
And so,
Which, like, no, it's fine, like, and I understand it, and, like, yes, but it was
yeah.
also just, like, she was so upset with all of us for celebrating Father's Day instead of celebrating Juneteenth, and she was just like, "Oh, why didn't you invite me?" But she was invited. That was, like, the whole thing. We were like, "Hey, like, you're allowed to come and celebrate whatever you want." But we also have people here who literally had their fathers with us there because some people were also
Yeah.
from Ohio.
Yeah.
And, like,
And there were
yeah.
like the father figures that were there too, like Christopher Plummer.
Christopher Plummer.
Christopher Plummer.
I love that man.
He is my summer dad, okay?
He was Sound Father.
He is Sound Father.
He is everyone's father.
Yeah, I love him so much. He's so great. But like literally we were like, you're our closest father figure right now. We're gonna celebrate Father's Day with you and like cook you barbecue, and we all pitched in and got a bunch of meats and stuff and like fruit and all kinds of things.
And it
I
wasn't
don't
just us, it
know.
was, like, the band kids too, like, orchestra, like, ended up coming over and celebrating, but, like, yeah, I did not sleep in my room that night because of, like, how big of a fuss she made when she got home, like, she was scary. I don't know. I don't enjoy it because I also just like I like very much grew up in the household with like a mother who passive aggressively slammed it when she's like upset, and I'm like I just
I
don't
hate that.
with it. I hate it. It puts me on edge. Like I cannot do it.
That's another thing that I recently have been experiencing is like parents who are not, what am I trying to say?
Understanding
No, it's more just like parents who can't emotionally regulate in a way that is safe.
and healthy for everyone else around them.
Like if you're a parent and you don't know, like if you're a person that doesn't know how to like healthily emotionally regulate, like I don't think you should really have kids because like that'll f them up faster than anything else.
I think that was for Cantaloupe.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that like off the bat set me off with him is because he does that. He's like so passive aggressive and just like throws mini tantrums and stomps off and like
Oh
slams
my God,
stuff
yeah.
and like gets upset. And I'm like, hey, like you are a grown man. You are a grown ass adult. Like you are 30s,
This is
40s.
not
Like
how we act at work.
no,
This
this
is
is not how we act at work. This is not how we deal with our big angry emotions. Like if you need to go and take a minute, go and take a minute. That's
can I
fine.
just hot girls feel their feelings, okay? Hot girly pops feel their feelings, but we do not become emotionally volatile in inappropriate situations. If we have to go feel our feelings, we leave the situation and then we come back and then we address the problem.
Precisely. I refuse. I think I've only cried, like, fully broken down, and it was that summer. It was when I got wrecked by Honeydew. I think that's the only time that I've, like, fully broken down or cried while being at work. Every other time, I will, like, remove myself and, like, just have a moment or,
Yeah.
like, wait until I get home, and then I'm like or rant to you when I'm driving home. Like, I don't do it in front of like others because I'm like, this is not your problem. Like, I'm having emotions, but I'm not gonna like add my emotions to the situation because it's not gonna help it. Like, I'm just gonna take it back.
Yeah. I had to do that at work a couple months ago because there was someone who's just like being, what's the word? It was kind of passive aggressive. I'm not going to lie about it. It was passive aggressive, more aggressive than passive. But I had just been dealing with the same attitude from this person for weeks, and they clearly didn't want to be there anymore. And I was like, you not wanting to be here is not my problem. I'm here to do our job. And like, you can come to me as like a friend, but I have to take off the work cap and put on the friend cap. And like, they were not respecting of the boundary of like that
The 2 different, yeah.
switching. Yeah. And so they would just like take out stuff about how they didn't want to be here on work things. And I literally had to leave the room. I was so overwhelmed. I was like, are you kidding? That like, I had asked a very simple question and they answered it in the worst way possible. Like they didn't answer the question. And I was like, okay. And it was with so much attitude, I had to leave. And then my supervisor came and found me and was like, what's happening? And I was like, this person needs to not be on night shift anymore. Because at that point we were working on night shift a lot, and I hate night shift. I'm a morning
Yeah, I
person. I'll
know.
be the first to tell you. Like you can do it and you're fine at it, and like there's a difference between like painting till 2 a.m. versus starting your day painting at 10 p.m. and working till 6 a.m. You know what I mean?
Agree with that because like typically like I can start like when I'm staying up and I'm painting until like 2 to 3 a.m. I've already been up and had like my normal day, and like I just circadian rhythm wise don't get tired until like later in the morning essentially, and so it's not a big problem for me. But I feel like if I had to wake up at 4 p.m. and then get ready, I would not be as happy about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because literally we would wake up and the sun would be down.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, are you fucking kidding me right now? What is happening? And I go to bed with the sun just in the sky. And I'm like, how am I supposed to live, laugh, love, and scenic art in these conditions? What are you talking about?
Did you know that studies say that like if you're working night shift that you actually require 10 hours of sleep versus like the classic 8 hours, and then as like
And we need more in general.
yeah, just as women like you technically already need closer to 10, so like just add more to that.
Yeah. Lately I've been going to bed and waking up at like about the same time every single day for the past few weeks just because like I'm finally back on my normal schedule. I'm in bed between 9:30 10 p.m. Every
It's
once in a
not bad.
while, every once in a while it'll be like 10:30 11 if I accidentally fuck up and stay up too late. And I fucked around and found out it did not feel good. And then I wake up at like 7:30. How much time is that? How much time is that? 10
Mm,
hours? What is that?
something like that. I don't know. I typically go to bed closer to like midnight. I don't fully get tired. Like if I were going to bed when I'm like fully tired and not like forcing myself to sleep, it'd be like 2 a.m. genuinely. But that's also usually when I don't have to wake up at like 6 the next day. This past like couple 2 weeks, I've been waking up way too early for my liking, and I've not been enjoying it.
Wait, why are you waking up early? What do you have going on?
Well, it was because of like for all of Tech Week, because I had to go in and learn it and like deal with a director and designers who did not understand that I have not stage managed in 3 years. And they were like, we're gonna give you a buck of a show and you're just gonna have to deal with it. And yeah. So I had to keep coming in.
I
Yeah.
didn't realize you were going into tech that early.
So like we would have tech all night, but I was still like working with props and still painting it and still having to like redo sound and light cues because things kept getting changed on me throughout tech. Like I had to go in when everyone else was at work because I still needed technically Honeydew there, and I needed like Pear and like all those people because I needed them to do things that I had no control over, essentially.
That makes more sense now.
Yeah. I was
I
not
forget
happy about it.
certain details.
It's fine. It's the weird because like we've talked about it. I think like trying to structure theater towards a 9 to 5 just truly doesn't work because you always are not working a 9 to 5, but working where I work black because of what it technically is, it is a 9 to 5 place. And so like it just makes it a little weird at times.
Yeah. I think that's also my biggest complaint about my current job because, having to do scenic painting full time as a 9 to 5 in itself is creatively exhausting, which is also part of the reason why we started this podcast is to, have some sort of like creative freedom and not making it like a work thing. And then on top of that, it's creatively exhausting, physically exhausting to be working more like 8 to 5 as a scenic artist. And then on top of that, every other month or every month having my schedule change to night shift out of nowhere, like my body hates it, dude.
Which is valid. I think your body should hate it. Again, I think the whole concept of a 9 to 5 is just kind of and ridiculous, and I don't think it works for most people, but very specifically like the creative sector. Oh my god, the amount of like even going back to like hanging out, like just wanting to run errands, the amount of times where like I have friends and they have events going on and it's always on the weekend and they're like, "Hey, like you want to come out? You want to hang out on this weekend?" And I'm like, "I have a show up. Like I'm in a tech. Like I can't do the weekends. Like ask me Tuesday afternoon and like maybe."
That's the part that I miss about doing gig work and stuff like that is that I could go to the grocery store on a Monday or a Wednesday. I prefer that way because no one else is there. Like
Literally.
literally, now that I'm having to work like an 8 to 5 and I only have weekends and sometimes I only have one day off, and I have to spend my one day off on a weekend going to the fucking grocery store and
And
cleaning my
dealing with
entire house
people.
the amount of people at the grocery store bothers me. And if I most of the time it's gonna be end up being if I have like one day off, it's gonna be Sunday because my co-painter is very religious and is like, if there's any chance we are able to not work on a Sunday so I can go to church, that's her prerogative. I respect it.
Yeah. More power
But
to
like,
you. Like
more power to you. She has like this cute little community and friends outside of work that she can go to and pours her heart and soul into it. And if she likes it, I love it. Okay, love it for her. But most of the time, if it's the weekend and I have the Sunday off, like I'm spending it doing laundry, cleaning my house, and going to the grocery store. When I go to the grocery store, I live in a very like religiously heavy town. Everyone goes to church in the morning and then immediately goes to the grocery store with their 5, 10 kids that are hungry, amped up from sitting for an hour to 2 hours listening to a sermon and like screaming. It's so overstimulating. Like today, I woke up before my alarm went off. That's how much I'm on my gosh dang schedule, okay?
can get it.
I woke up at like 7:18 and my alarm was gonna go off at 7:30 and I was like, look at me, I'm a queen. And then I went to the grocery store and I got there, it was like 8:12 and I was like, okay, great. This store just opened and I walked up and it was not opening till 8:30. Google lied to me. I was like, what do you mean? 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
did tell
told me
you
about
about
this.
this. But there were only like 3 other people with me when I went to the grocery store this morning. It's a Sunday. I went when it first opened. Like I sat in the parking lot waiting for the freaking store to open, and I was in and out in like 30 minutes.
It's so nice. I love but like yeah, I just love like going when it's not super busy, but it's also like
Hmm.
back to like the whole 9 to 5 thing. Like even if you think about it in terms of like being a 9 to 5 worker that's not in the creative field, like doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, getting your hair cut, like all of that also runs on a 9 to 5 schedule. And so you have
So
to take
annoying.
off work to go do
No,
like
yeah.
basic maintenance. And I don't get it. Like why are we so stuck on this like, oh, it needs to be 9 to 5 when clearly that just doesn't work for most people.
Or there will be a business that will be closed Monday, Tuesday, and then will be open on the weekends. But the day that you have off in the theater
Is like
field,
a
at
Monday,
least, is like
Tuesday.
a Monday, Tuesday. And it's like, are you freaking kidding me? Because, like, when Hunter's working show shift, like working show schedule, he has Mondays off only. And all of his favorite places are closed on Monday.
Literally. Oh my God. I love thrift shopping. So do you. I love a good vintage store. Yeah. My biggest complaint was always in Ohio that like our typical day off was usually like a Sunday, a Monday, or a Tuesday. And then half of the like vintage
I feel
stores,
like it was a lot of Wednesdays.
I didn't get Wednesdays. I almost, because like I will say our last summer, our days off were different though.
I hated that. It made me so angry.
But like half the time when we would have a day off, like all of the like cool vintage shops would not open. And I was just like, God, I was so mad about that. I was like, I just want to go thrifting and look at all the vintage and everything is closed.
Yeah. Our first summer was kind of ideal, aside from all the other things that happened.
I don't know. Okay, like as much as it was like weird and dramatic, it was still kind of fun.
It was so dramatic for no reason.
It was so dramatic because it was a bunch of, for the most part, like for context, like our first summer in Ohio, we all got put in a house for the most part. Like almost every member of like technical theater staff got put in a house.
That
And for the
wasn't like
most part,
supervisor management, whatever.
yeah, we like besides like bok choy and like one other person, it was just us tech staff. And almost all of us tech staff were between the ages of 18, 22, and it was almost all of our first time doing a summer stock. And so like it was just a bunch of like naive, juvenile, green little barely legal to drink children in a house together partying, and it was fun. It was so dramatic, but it was like there were some really fun times in that as well.
So much drama. I don't know. I look back on some of the drama that I caused, and I was like, why did I do that? And it wasn't like a malicious drama. I wasn't purposely like going out to try and make drama with like another person. You had a lot more girl drama, like
Yeah,
girlfriend drama, and I had a lot more like drama. I
the
almost said
girlfriend drama,
trauma.
like, slightly wasn't even my fault. It was like these two
It was
girls.
caused by a boy.
It was caused by a boy, which it was boys that we were like friends with, like slightly flirting with, but friends with. We were friends with them for the most part.
Yeah. I
And then
wasn't even like remotely close to flirting until after the
after they got
whole
crazy.
everything. After that, all of that, they got crazy. I was like, oh, they're not
Yeah.
respecting their boundaries. So,
Yeah.
whatever.
So, okay, we were messy. We were messy, and that is okay. And you're allowed to be messy. But so, like, we were just friends with these guys. And, like, it wasn't really flirtatious because we kind of knew they were flirting with these other girls. And then that went to hell really quickly. And I got the brunt end of those two girls having emotional problems with these guys because I was friends with them and they took it out on
And they were,
me.
yeah, they were taking it out on you while actively like wanting you to hang out with them.
Yeah. They were
It
like,
was
oh, you're
so
like our
weird.
best friend and like you have to hang out with us and make us feel better, but then kept taking out all of their drama with these guys on me. And I was like, what the like
And they're
I
like,
didn't cause
well,
this.
if you just didn't do this thing, blah, 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 then like this wouldn't have been a problem, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
I was just like, ugh.
it also was really weird that they like kind of attached to you because it felt weird from the outside perspective because like you and I were attached at the hip and then like all of a sudden you were disappearing and I was like, we hang out every day and work together every day. Where are you going? What's happening? And you're like, oh, this thing is happening with these people. And then like you would tell me what would say to you. And I was like, why aren't you hanging out with me?
Like I don't understand. They like truly cuz like for the most part like they were fairly nice until again like the end and they went like a little cracked and I was just like but like we didn't start off being close. I was like very close with you and then all of a sudden I got like pulled into this thing and I was like what the fuck is happening? And I think it's because out of the two of us, you technically were closer friends with the guys, and I feel like they just didn't want to approach you about it. But because I was your friend and I was friends with the guys, they were like, this is the person we can approach about this, which makes no sense to me.
That's a really interesting viewpoint because like
I feel like you were closer with the both of them. Like you had like bro downs with them constantly.
I can be one of the boys.
So like,
I say that
yeah,
and like I don't mean that in a pick me way.
no, it was just more like
But like they would
truly
seek
like
okay, what I really think it was is the fact that like I really got into my intuitive witchy era, and I still am in that, obviously, like,
Oh,
I
I
still
remember
have
that
all that,
tarot where you
but
called his ass
oh,
out.
that's exactly what it is. Like, literally, I was like, okay, I'm really delving into this part of myself that I know I've only always had, but I didn't know what it was. And so, like, I went out of my way and I gifted myself like a tarot deck for my birthday and got a bunch of like candles and incense and rocks because I was already into crystals and rocks and incense and stuff. But like, our favorite store, Madame Bagnabbits, I freaking love her birthday. But anyway, I gifted myself a tarot deck and I was like using it and I was just so accurate
It
the
was
whole time with it.
wild.
It was so wild how like I had never read tarot before. I didn't even know what the cards meant or anything, and I was like, "Wow, I'm like really good at this." And there was one night I read everyone's spreads, and I don't do normal like spreads. I don't pick like a heart spread or a star spread or as of below spread or whatever. Like I just let the cards come to me and I put them down however I feel fits in this whatever message is trying to be sent through me. And I would start getting cards falling out of the deck and like pulling things, and I'd be like, okay, so here's what's happening. And I would just start like
It was
unleashing all of this information. And for everyone's reading, it was so stupid accurate.
it was
And I remember,
fucking
yes, doing specifically Mason's reading was so on point. And I didn't even know any of the information. And Eli knew all of the information. And he was like, you literally called him out so hard. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. What? And he would gave me all of the information. And I went, Spirit needed me to say it, apparently.
which, to be fair, also, if we're talking about messiness, like, yes, the boys and the two girls were also messy, but, like, they also knew what was going on with at least Mason. Like, she knew
Yeah.
about that whole situation and still chose to go for it.
I also gave like Eli and the other person space to like figure their stuff out because they both had like so much going on. And
Yeah.
she would come to me and be like, I need you to do a tarot reading. And outside of that one night that I did everyone's, and she would come to me and ask me questions. And like, I would be there for her emotionally and like hold her a little bit and hold space for her. And then like everything happened. And then I guess I don't know what actually happened. I'm just gonna say that I don't know everything that happened in that scenario situation. And so because I had done the tarot readings and like people were coming to me with emotional issues and stuff, whatever. And I was able to hold space at the time because I hadn't gone through my shit yet. Mason came to me and was like, I really need to bro out with you about this thing that you called me out on and we need to talk about it.
Yeah.
And then I got all the download that was like not just Eli and someone else's perspective, but his own personal perspective and talking to me about it. So like I guess maybe in that way, just because I was so open to holding space for people and being like emotionally and spiritually intuitive in what was going on, that people felt like they could come to me and talk to me about things that maybe I guess that would quantify me as being like closer to them just because like I knew,
Yeah.
but I also like told you everything that was going on. But for
Yeah.
some
You fully
reason,
told me, which, whatever. Like, love it. I'm always here
yeah,
for it. Yeah. It was
I
more
tell
just
you
like,
everything.
I also tell you everything. It was more just that, like, the guys felt more comfortable with you, which is fine. But,
Mm,
like, those two girls just very specifically, like, they were like, no, 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 this one. This one's the one that we're
yeah.
gonna go to. And I was just like, okay.
I wonder if it's because they saw you more as the threat because Mason was more open about his feelings.
I don't
Because
know.
they didn't really know what was going on
I
with
don't think
me,
I
at
ever knew about
least.
you and, yeah.
I don't think anyone ever knew, aside
No,
from
I think,
like you
yeah. And
and one
him,
other person
obviously.
and him, yeah. But it was just like really funny. Do you remember that one night we were sitting in the car with them? It was the four of us who were sitting in the car, and we were literally watching the girls go up and down the
Look,
stairs, checking rooms, looking for you, and texting you, asking you where you were, texting Mason and Eli. No one texted me. No one wanted them to. No, no one wanted to contact me and ask me questions because I knew I would tell them the truth. They didn't want to hear the truth. They didn't want to know.
if they were looking for me, you were the best person to, like, ask
Ask.
about that. Because you also were in the house, and I was like, hey, like, because I told them that, and I was like, yeah, I don't really want to go out. I don't want to go to, like, the, like, swings. Like, I'm fine. And then I wasn't in my room, and they're like, where are you? And I was like, I'm pretty sure I answered I was with you. Like, I was like,
Yeah,
I'm
and so
with
they went up to
Burnsy.
my room.
So,
They went up to my room to look for you, and I was like, "We're not in there."
like, literally. And I was just like, what the hell? And then they started texting, like, the guys. And, like, literally, we're sitting outside the house, watching them walk up and down this entire house, looking for me.
It was giving the devil card, TBH. It was giving obsession.
A little. A little, yeah. And I say that knowing I can be obsessive about it too. Like, yeah. But like, I don't make my obsessions other people's problem. Like, I'm not gonna bring it to that person. That was, yeah, it was weird. That night was like a lot. Yeah.
Oh, after that summer, my emotional boundaries went up so hard because of all the that went down.
No, that's fair. That's valid.
I just had to say that. Like that summer taught me a lot about boundaries and I was like, "Whoa." And then that was more like emotional personal boundaries versus I later had to learn like working boundaries.
Still working on those ones myself. Yay.
I think the thing that really hit me was like it's not what I'm about to say. It's not about like being in a relationship or having a pet or like, having a specific type of job or anything. This is very generalized, but like if you have multiple factors in your life, this is what I needed to hear to understand. I needed to hear it. Okay. So I'm going to say it. If you give 100% of yourself to your job, you leave 0% for anything else. And a lot of people are like, you have to give 110% to this thing and blah, 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 whatever. If you give 100% of yourself to something, then you don't have anything left over for you.
Oh, that's fair.
You don't have anything left over for your pets, for yourself, for your relationship, for your friends. If you give 100% of yourself for your job, what are you going to do with you at the end of the day? Because I was doing that for so long and I'd get home and feel so exhausted. I'd sleep for like 4 hours and then wake up and then do four more jobs the next day. And I would just be so exhausted. I'd be like zombified in the shower, just trying to like get the sweat off my body. And I'd be like, why is this life? Why am I? It felt like getting raw dogged all the time. And then finally I was like, oh, I'm not going to give 100% to my work. I'm going to give like 80% and give 20 to myself. And then things started to feel better. And I was like, oh, I can cut back on this and like, it's fine.
Yeah. I will say, and you're good.
I'm
No, I was
sorry.
gonna
I'm
say,
sorry.
I was gonna say for like, and you can call me out. You can say it wrong. I would like to say for myself personally, no, I fully agree. Like, you shouldn't give 100%. I would like to say, give like 100% of like at least like emotional and creativity to my job as much as like it's more my time. I give like all of my time to my job. And then that's why like I'll get emotionally overwhelmed because then it's the only thing I'm experiencing for like 48 hours is just working. It's not necessarily because like I'm emotionally invested in it. It's just that's the only emotion I've had for 48 hours.
I did
Does
not
that
mean
make
to
sense?
say any of that to call you out specifically in any
I know, but like
capacity.
I feel like you will be calling me out. But yeah, no, I fully agree. Like, don't give 100% of yourself at work. I'm currently just stuck in the cycle of giving all of my time to work, which is like getting me in awful places, which I hate.
Yeah, but like also, if you're giving 100% of your time to work, where's the time for you?
Exactly. Cause like I still like when I get home, but like I'll still make time to like at least I'm trying to still make time to like go out and like hang out with friends and do that much stuff. But like emotionally invested, I like very quickly stopped getting emotionally invested, especially in like Place Black.
Yeah.
Because like I came from not working there to then having to work there. Like I'd already learned what that emotion roller coaster was gonna be, and I like just gave up on that instantly as soon as I got hired. It's more like Place Red that
Red rails you.
Red is awful.
Red abuses your time and doesn't pay you. If I'm
And I
assuming
like
what Red is correct.
I'm pretty sure you're correct. Because Red I started at like while I was still a student in college.
Yeah.
Um and it was because like I just wanted experience. I wanted to like try new things, get out into like the community and like do work that wasn't related to being like a university student. And then like I stuck there because like I was still sort of green, still sort of new, and I liked my coworkers, but then like as Burnsy has seen over the progression of like specifically like this past like year to year and a half, they've just gotten worse worse and started treating me worse. And like one of my coworkers who like I usually really enjoy great because of his own issues going on and also this workplace has started getting stressed out and then started taking that stress out on me and I've just been like it's just been a whole thing. Did I tell you I texted him the other night?
Yeah.
And like I fully told him to fuck off and he like was very much like, "Oh, I wasn't like trying to hound you. I was just trying to give you information." And I was like, "Okay, then give me the information."
Go about it in a different way, dog. Like,
Yeah. Because like he had texted me right when fire alarms went
it
off.
also feels like when he texts you, it's not him trying to give you information. It's more of him like trying to ask questions to give you information somehow. Like,
Yeah,
do you know what
it's
I'm
never just
saying?
like no, that's fair. Cause he's like it's because like even when I went off in text, which also one of my fucking deckhands was walking around the building with me when I was trying to find people to get information about why the fuck the fire alarm went off. I was like I auto dictated into my phone this text. the kid just started laughing behind me about like my tone and what I was saying. But it was because like he was texting me to give me notes about what the director, which this director I do have labeled down as broccoli because I'm having a whole moment with her.
If you're giving me notes, don't text me. Email.
Like you
You
can
know what I
email
mean?
me. I will say for him specifically, I'm horrible at answering emails. And so like I'll take text notes, but like he didn't start it off by like going like, "Oh, hey, like I have a couple things that the director wanted you to know about paint." He was like he started it and he was just like, "So about paint." And like he'd already been asking me almost every day that week like, "When are you coming into paint?" And I kept saying like, "Hey, like I can't give you a full answer. Like it keeps changing every day because of a show that was a nightmare." And so he started the text by being like, "So paint?" question mark. And I was like, I instantly took that. I was like, he's asking me why I'm not in here right now painting. And I like fully went off. And then he was like, "Oh, I wasn't asking you about like coming into paint. Like you still have time. Like don't worry about that. I was just telling you like I have like notes and information about paint for you." And I was like, then why not start it by like saying, "Hey, like I have some information from the director," instead of being like phrasing it in a way that made it sound like you're asking me when I'm coming in to paint a show when I've already answered this question.
Yeah. Also wonder if maybe like because red is the first place you started while still being a college student, that your skills have evolved and changed and grown so much since then, and they don't like see that, so they kind of still like treat you as if you're just a college student. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know if what I'm
I
saying makes
well, like
sense.
I get you. I think it's more of a like they just because like I do have like an emotional tie to it because like it was one of the first places that hired me. I feel like they just like because I know who it is. Like it's not even just like I didn't actually write this person's name down. I'll come up with a name for it. It's not Grape in themselves. It's like because like we're gonna talk money here for a second. Like when I first got hard, like
Talking about money.
so community does not pay very well. This one pays less than every other community I've worked for. And so they typically give a stipend of about $200 if you're taking on a tech anything for this show. So when I paint, I typically get about $200. When I paint and design a show for them, I get about $400. Still less than what I make other places just painting. And so like I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm like they're not paying me enough to paint because I have grown. But also this like past year and a half, they've stopped paying me the full 200 or even full 400 when I do a double job. I've started getting 100 or 150 or 300 and I don't fucking know why and I'm not okay with it and I know who it is because I know who writes the check and I think she's just like, "Oh well, like she'll let me do it so I can get away with it." And I'm like, "No, like this is not
Immediately make
okay."
a fuss.
So, yeah. So it's more of a just like cuz like also at like Place Red a lot of like management has been like overturning a lot and like cuz it's like boards and stuff like that and the people in charge like we've had a lot of people in and out and they're trying to restructure but like they've kept one person very specifically who is the problem child and this person is just making it hell for the rest of us. And so yeah, just like it's like a chain effect.
Yeah. I will say, for anyone who's might be listening, I work for regional theater versus like community theater, very different vibes. But we still have a board that helps make decisions, that like donate a lot of money and like do all the things. And our artistic director and founder and CEO tried to ask the board and be like, "Hey, I want to make lunches 30 minutes instead of an hour." And they were like, "No." She had asked this like 2 years ago, and the board was like, "They're already working so hard. Why would you want to make
Like
it
yeah,
an 30 minutes from an hour? That's not enough time to like if you don't bring a lunch, that's not enough time to like go get a lunch, come back and eat it, let alone digest your food." That's a big
yeah.
thing for me is if I eat, I have to sit and let it digest before I start working again or else I will want to throw up. So instead of mandating that our lunches get cut down to 30 minutes, they changed the policy that if you work 35 hours, you make 40 and then you get paid for 40, if that makes sense. They changed it from 35 to 37 and a half makes 40. So a lot of people opted to just do a 30-minute lunch because that's an extra 30 minutes every single day out of a 5-day work week to make
Yeah.
37 and a half. So she went on a roundabout way to make that happen. Our department specifically decided to not do the 30-minute lunch, and we came in 30 minutes earlier in the day.
Yeah.
Now, this upcoming season, there is no 35, 37.5, and 840. It's whatever hours you actively work. Mhm. Uh-huh.
Yes. I kind of hate the, like, structure of, like, hourly work in the sense of, like, oh, you only get paid for as many, like, hours as you work versus, like,
Yeah, it's kinda dumb.
the quality of the product you're doing. Because there's so many things, like, Place Black. Like, I do hourly for them technically, but, like, I'm always in there more hours than I'm supposed to be allotted, or, like, I don't have as many hours depending on what's happening in the week, but it's not because 'cause I'm not doing, like, quality work, so, I don't think hourly works very well. Like, I have friends who, like, do classic, like, office job things, and they work hourly, and so there's just so much, like, what is it? What is the word? Like, inefficiency because people, instead of getting the job done quickly and well, because they know they can get it done quickly and well, will just push it off for the entire 8-hour day because if they finish it, then they don't get paid for the rest of the day. And it's stupid because it's like, hey, if I have this list of tasks and I've accomplished this list of tasks, even if I finish it before my day is up, I should still get paid what I'm supposed to get paid.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hate hourly. It's so, so stupid. But yeah, boards are
Especially
awful.
for, like, creative artistic jobs. Our board is actually pretty okay. They do try and advocate for us, but this past year, it's gone bad.
Like, the thing with the board at the Red is that, like, it was like 14 to 20 people. A bunch of them quit because of the problem child, very specifically, which it should also be noted that this problem child straight up lost $6,000 and did not get, like, removed. And that's why we were
How?
like, I fucking know because they're bad at booking and they fired the accountant. I don't know. But so
That's like the horse firing the horse wrangler. Do you know what
exactly.
I'm talking about?
Yes, yes, I do. But so like half of our board quit because of this one problem child. And then we got a bunch of new board members in who are trying to make it better. And all the board members are like my age and they're like people of color and they're queer folks and disabled folks. And like that's what this place was
We
meant to be
love.
about. And so like they're trying to revamp it. But they brought all these people in to run a coup and get rid of the problem child. And the problem child is still there, making it a living hell for everyone.
What do you do about that?
I don't know. I don't know how, because like technically, for a lot of, because like community based, even if it's like a good community theater out here, like you can have like technical directors and production managers, and those people get paid. Board members, like just the way it is out here, those are volunteer positions. They don't get paid to do what they're
Yeah,
doing.
correct.
So you can't really fire somebody who's not getting paid. And I don't know if there's like a voting system to like vote them out.
Or they just like schedule meetings and then they don't tell the other person.
Yeah, but there's things written in, like, the bylaws, which that would actually be, like, a problem if they tried, because they can't. Like, even I have to be informed about, like, when all the board meetings are,
Oh,
because I work there. Yeah.
interesting. I don't know. I feel like there has to be some sort of loop around it where they can be like, we're doing a private vote without the person that the vote's about. And then,
So,
I
God,
don't know.
God love it. I don't know. But yeah, all of this drama to get rid of a problem child who's still there.
I just start being mean to them.
I I will also say part of the reason I tend to stick to paint is because one, I like it and I'm good at it, but two, specifically things for like community theater, it's because I don't have to interact with people because there's so many people who I cannot be nice to at this point, and if I saw them face to face, it would kind of be on site for a couple people at this point, and that's part of the reason we stick to painting is because I can be in a building when no one else is, and then I don't have to deal with them.
I've been having the opposite problem lately.
Really?
Yeah, it's because I think since I'm moving into a supervisor position, I get more people contacting me and coming and finding me and talking to me at work all the time. And it's exhausting. I'm like, why do you need to talk to me about this? I understand it's kind of my department, but I don't make that decision.
Yeah, that's how I feel about emails from Black. The amount of things I get put on because,
Yeah.
like, I'm technically a part of that side of the theater and that side of the staff, and they're like, "We're just informing you," and I'm like, "This isn't. I don't control this. I don't do anything with this. Why? Like, I guess it's nice. I know, but like, I don't need this like 50 chain email about a bunch of it that I will never touch at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. I get that it kind of does relate to yours is like not related at all, and then like mine is somewhat related. But this also it could have been an email. Why did you drive all the way here to
Yeah.
talk to me? What do you mean? And then we have people coming in. Our like advancement team and upper management will just like come stop by and like give tours to incoming board members or donors or people who just want tours of places. And then they'll come up and talk to me and they'll be like, "How's it going?" And I'm like, "I have nothing positive to say to you right now."
I'm pretty sure I Snapchatted you that. I was like, oh, I may not have. I think I told Kay that. I was like, because of the shit show that I was just working on with the position I didn't want, I was just like, honestly, don't ask my opinion on anything for like a week. I have nothing nice to say right now. And they were like, heard. And I was like, thank you.
Understood. Understood.
Yeah. Yeah. Wild. No, that's the thing I've always kind of enjoyed about paint is the fact that I don't have to fucking interact with people besides like maybe other painters and like carps or props, but like actors and a lot of the times directors and most of the other forms, like I don't have to interact with them if I'm painting because I come in when no one is in the building.
It's so funny. During our first show this season, Hunter was on show crew we did tech. Load in and tech took like an entire month by itself, which is so abnormal. Usually it's like a week for each. But he loves talking with the actors backstage and getting to know them and stuff. And we love lying to people in not a harmful way, but we love lying to people and just being like, "Yeah, we're married."
You know what? That's a good lie though. That's like because
It's such a good
it'll be
lie.
true at some point. So
Yeah, it will be true at some point, and like, who cares? We're probably never going to see these actors ever
yeah.
again. And it's always just so fun because they have so much more respect for the both of us in the relationship. He was like, "That's my girlfriend." They'll be like, "Oh, nice to meet your girlfriend," versus if he's like, "This is my wife," and then they're like, "Oh my God, it's so like the interaction changes so much." But he was like getting to know some of the actors backstage and talking to them about me and telling them how we're already married and everything. And I came in one day and they knew who I was. I had never seen these actors a day in my life before, but they knew immediately who I was. And they were like, "Oh my God, you're his wife." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Who are you? Why are you talking to me? What's going on?"
You're like,
I
how do
just
you know?
need How do you know me? Why do you know what I look like? I need to go. I'm starting my shift. I have to go find paint. Like, what are we doing?
I love that. That's
It's so
glorious.
fun. They'll come out of their way and to like interact with me and be like, "Oh my gosh, I've heard so much about you. Your husband is amazing. He does all these goofy things backstage and we have this little rapport." I'm like, he has a little rapport with everyone, okay?
That's a cute lie. I support that lie. That's fun.
Yeah. I remember when I first did that, it was I was dropping off my car to get my oil changed and I was like, "Oh no, it's fine. My husband's gonna come pick me up." And they were like,
You know what? But
"Okay."
that's like also like slightly smart because it's also like experiences just with car people. If you're just a woman, half the time they try to either upsell you or some shit you
Mhm,
don't need, and then you're like, oh
mhm.
no, like a man, and they're like, oh, I can't disrespect you now, and it's like, well, fuck you.
And this is gonna be so long to edit.
Oh, it's gonna be so long. I don't envy you. It was a little for if we have listeners, our listeners out there. Hello, this is Can I Just, in which you're just watching two very sort of like autistic ADHD people talk and ramble and go on and forth. We may get more structured later on and have actual topics. Won't promise we stay on those topics though, because I think you've seen us jump at least 20 times throughout this podcast.
I knew us recording the podcast together was gonna be heckin' chaotic and long. I had anticipated that. I feel like I can only make things structured if it's just me,
That's fair. I
because
mean,
I never know what we're gonna talk about.
we can write down like a couple of things we want to talk about, but like, yeah, no promises for keeping to a subject because
Mhm,
that'd be too boring.
mhm. That would be too boring. That's not us. That's not our brand. Okay, well, this has been super fun. So glad that you guys hung out with us. We're so happy you were here to listen to all of this. It's been real, it's been fun, and it's been real fun.
So fun, so cute, so quirky,
So fun, so cute, so
so cute,
quirky.
so quirky.
Yes, you can
Screaming,
find
crying, shitting
throwing up,
ourselves.
shitting the bed. Yeah. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at Designs by Burnsy. You can also check out my website, designsbyburnsy.com. Go check out my shop and see if there's anything on there that you
Do it.
would like to
I have a couple
purchase.
shirts. They're
Yeah,
fucking
you
cute as
do.
shit. I
You can find Mattie on Instagram as Painted Silver.
yes.
Anything
It's like
else?
underscore dot painted silver underscore. I don't really do a lot of social media, unfortunately. Tis the way I am.
It's
And
okay.
I have a website that's like 2 years out of date and I don't sell anything. So I'm just here vibing.
Yeah, we love it though. If you like it, I love it for you.
And then as we've stated, if you want to find me, the best person to try to find me is that one right there.
I'll redirect you. You'd be like, DM, where's Mattie? I'll
Exactly.
redirect you. It'll be
So
great.
go follow Burnsy, go like all shit, go buy her merch because I have her merch and you should have her merch because it is
Uh,
fun and cute and so great.
Thank you so much. I so appreciate that. You're so wonderful. You can find us on YouTube and Spotify right now. I don't know if I'll get us onto Apple anytime soon. I'm scared of Apple because the people who leave reviews on Apple are usually really mean. So I'm scared of Apple, but we might get on there eventually. So like, comment, subscribe, follow, all of those things. We hope you enjoyed. We were so happy to finally sit down and do this, and maybe we'll see you shortly
And the next one.
on the
Yeah.
next one.